Okay, we're looking at the Vanderwolf Pyramid cultivar of Limber Pine, Pinus flexilis. Although recently I read there was some disagreement. Some people thought that this was actually a cultivar of Pinus strobiformis, which is southwestern white pine. But I'm showing this because look at all these yellow needles. Am I worried? Not really at this point, because we're in the late fall and a lot of pines, especially white pines, lose needles then. Now, I will say this is losing pretty much everything except this year's needles, which I find a little unusual, but that could be because of transplant stress, who knows what. So for now, I'm not worried. I'll show you a few others. Another Vanderwolf Pyramid, again losing most all needles except for this year's new growth needles. One right next to it. Same story. Now maybe when it gets older it'll hold more than 1 year's worth of needles, but for now I'm not that worried. This one actually is keeping a lot more needles. I don't know why. If anything, this one is slightly more shaded, slightly more protected from the cold because it's next to a big clump of Leland cypress there. And also on the Vanderwolf Pyramid, they've already set their buds for next spring, so the tree is certainly not in trouble, I don't think. It's got a lot of green needles on it from this year. It just seems to lose a lot of needles in the fall. And really, I don't know what I was expecting. This is kind of my first experience with the Vanderwolf Pyramid. So I guess maybe this is what it does, at least at this stage of the process of establishing it. While we're looking at pines and frost damage, here's some bonus footage of the Mexican white pine I planted. It's really small. Here's my hand for scale. And it looks like it got some frost damage during the frosts of November. But on the other hand, there's still green needles over here and the buds seem fine, so we're going to wait and see how Mexican white pine handles the rest of the winter in Tennessee. Okay, one more update on fall foliage. This is a regular bald cypress, Taxodium disticum. And I just wanted to show you we're at the end of November and it's still got green needles on it. And for those of you that don't know, this is a deciduous conifer. It loses its needles in the winter. But this one is not ready to lose them yet. And right next to it, another deciduous conifer, Dawn redwood, Metasequoia glyptostroboides. Still green needles on the back side over here. Those protected from wind. The front side, the needles have all bronzed on the top, but look at the bottom. Still green. So I'm just getting more experience with these species this year. I just planted them this last fall actually. So this is my first growing year. And it's interesting to see how long they go into the winter with needles still on. I'm assuming by the time we get to the end of December they'll all be gone because the interior ones are turning red for real. Over here, see this? Red all the way through. But it's just interesting, end of November, there's still some green on both these trees, which is fine.